The church doors slammed shut behind me as I stood there in my white dress, the bouquet wilting in my trembling hands, while Jordan's car sped off into the rain-slicked streets of Boston. 10 years later, in a crowded Manhattan cafe, she appeared like a ghost from my nightmares, her eyes locking onto mine with the same intensity that once promised forever. "Celeste, I never stopped loving you," she whispered, but the words hit like a slap, reopening wounds I thought had scarred over. I froze, my coffee cup halfway to my lips, the steam blurring her face for a moment. Jordan looked different, older, yes, but the sharp lines of her jaw and the piercing blue eyes were unmistakable. She slid into the booth across from me without invitation, her designer coat dripping rainwater onto the floor. "Please hear me out," she said, her voice low and urgent. The cafe buzzed around us with the chatter of professionals on lunch breaks, oblivious to the storm brewing at our table. Back in college at Harvard, we'd met in a philosophy class debating ethics and morality. I was the outspoken literature major from a liberal family in California, unafraid to challenge norms. Jordan was the reserved economics student from a conservative Southern Baptist clan in Georgia, her accent soft but her arguments fierce. Our debates spilled into late-night coffees, then walks along the Charles River, until one autumn evening, under a canopy of turning leaves, she kissed me. It was electric, a spark that ignited something profound. We kept it secret at first, navigating stolen moments in dorm rooms and hidden corners of campus. But as graduation loomed, the weight of reality pressed in. Jordan's family expected her to return home, marry a nice boy from church, and build the life they'd scripted for her. "They'd disown me, Celeste," she'd confide in whispers during our nights together. "Everything I've worked for. My scholarship, my future gone." I pushed back, arguing that love was worth the risk, that we could build our own world. But doubt crept in like fog over the river. One night, after a heated argument, she packed her bags and left for Georgia without a goodbye, leaving only a note. "I can't fight this war. Forgive me." I didn't. The betrayal cut deep, fueling my drive to succeed in New York as a journalist exposing social injustices. I dated sporadically, but no one touched that raw place Jordan had carved in my heart. Now here she was, disrupting my carefully constructed life. "Why now?" I demanded, my voice steadier than I felt. She glanced around as if afraid of eavesdroppers, then leaned in. "My marriage is falling apart. David knows about us, about you. He found old letters." Her words hung in the air like smoke. Marriage. Of course she'd followed the path. I pictured her in a white gown, vows exchanged under stained glass, her family beaming. The image twisted my gut. "And you think I care?" I shot back, but curiosity gnawed at me. She explained how she tried to bury her feelings, how the wedding had felt like a funeral for her true self. But cracks appeared early, arguments with David over her distant demeanor, her reluctance to start a family. "I thought conforming would bring peace," she admitted, tears welling. "It only brought emptiness." We talked for hours that afternoon, the cafe emptying around us. She described the pressure from her parents, the sermons decrying unnatural lifestyles, the fear of being ostracized in her small town. They said it was a phase, that prayer would fix me. I listened, anger mixing with unwanted empathy. Hadn't I faced my own battles? My family was supportive, but society wasn't always kind. Subtle discriminations at work, judgmental stares in public. Yet I'd chosen authenticity over safety. As the sun dipped low, casting long shadows through the windows, Jordan reached for my hand. I pulled away. "This isn't a reunion, Jordan. You chose them over us." Her face crumpled, but she nodded. "I know, but I've changed. I'm ready to fight now." The words echoed our old promises, but trust was a fragile thing, shattered once. I left her there, promising nothing, my mind a whirlwind of what-ifs. That night, alone in my apartment overlooking Central Park, I replayed our conversation. Sleep evaded me, memories flooding back. Our first trip to Cape Cod, laughing in the surf, the way she traced patterns on my skin while we studied. But intertwined were the pains, the unanswered calls after she left, the hollow ache that followed me for years. Was her return a second chance or a cruel twist? The next day my phone buzzed with her text. "Meet me at our old spot?" Our old spot, the Harvard Bridge, now a symbol of what was lost. I ignored it at first, burying myself in work. But curiosity or perhaps lingering love won out. I arrived at dusk, the city lights twinkling on the water. Jordan waited bundled against the chill, a thermos of hot cocoa in hand. Our college ritual. We walked in silence at first, the wind whipping our hair. Then she spoke of her life in Georgia. The corporate job that paid well but suffocated her soul. The church obligations that felt like chains. David was kind, she said, but their marriage was a facade. He deserves better than a wife who's in love with someone else. The admission stunned me. You told him. She nodded. Last month. We're separating. He encouraged me to find you. Her honesty disarmed me. We sat on a bench watching joggers pass. I shared my own scars, the promotions I'd earned fighting for LGBTQ rights stories, the relationships that fizzled because no one measured up to her. You broke me, Jordan. How do I know you won't do it again? She turned to me, eyes fierce. Because I've paid the price. 10 years of regret, of pretending. I'm done hiding. As stars emerged, we leaned closer, the air charged. But I held back, the conflict raging inside. Forgiving her meant risking heartbreak again. But denying her felt like punishing myself. We parted with a hug that lingered too long. Promises to talk soon hanging unspoken. Days blurred into weeks of tentative reconnections. Coffee dates, long walks, shared meals. Jordan moved to New York temporarily, crashing with a cousin while sorting her divorce. Her family exploded when she came out. Calls filled with accusations, threats of cutting ties. You're throwing away God's plan, her mother screamed over the phone. Jordan wept in my arms that night, her vulnerability cracking my defenses. Yet doubts lingered. Was this real or desperation? I confided in my best friend, Mia, over brunch. She's using you as an escape, Mia warned. What if her family pulls her back? The words echoed my fears. Jordan's actions spoke louder, though. She attended pride events with me, volunteered at shelters for queer youth, slowly rebuilding her identity. One evening as we cooked dinner in my kitchen, laughter filling the air, she paused. Celeste, I want to make this right. But I need to know if you can forgive me. The question hung heavy. I set down the knife, heart pounding. Forgiveness isn't easy. It comes with conditions. We talked deep into the night, laying bare our hurts and hopes. By dawn, a fragile bridge formed between us. But bridges can crumble. Jordan's father arrived unannounced, his presence a thundercloud. Over tense coffee, he pleaded, or rather demanded, she return home. This isn't you, Jordy. It's confusion. Come back and we'll fix it. His words dripped with judgment, labeling our love a sin. Jordan stood firm, but I saw the tremor in her hands. After he left, defeated, she collapsed. What if he's right? What if I'm damning us both? Her doubt ignited my anger. You've let them control you for too long. We argued fiercely, words like weapons. She stormed out, leaving me questioning everything. Was love worth this endless battle? The silence after Jordan's departure echoed through my apartment like a void. I paced the floor, replaying the fight. Her father's visit had unearthed old insecurities, making her question the very foundation we'd started rebuilding. By morning, regret washed over me. I texted her. We need to talk. Please. Hours passed without reply, amplifying my anxiety. Work became my refuge. As a senior editor at a progressive news outlet, I dove into a story on LGBTQ rights in conservative states. Ironic, given my personal turmoil. Interviews with activists reminded me of the stakes. Families torn apart, lives upended by prejudice. One woman shared how her partner left under parental pressure, mirroring Jordan's past. It took years to heal, she said. But second chances? They're rare gifts. Her words lingered, challenging my resolve. Finally, Jordan called. I'm at a hotel. Can I come over? Her voice was weary. When she arrived, bags under her eyes, we sat on the couch, a chasm between us. Dad's words got to me, she admitted. All my life, I've sought their approval. It's hard to unlearn. I nodded, sharing my own fears of abandonment. Vulnerability bridged the gap. We cried, held each other, promising to face obstacles together. But society doesn't yield easily. Jordan's divorce proceedings turned ugly. David, hurt and bitter, contested assets, dragging our history into court. She left me for her college fling. he claimed in filings, outing her publicly. Tabloids picked up the story, small-town girl turned New York scandal. Jordan's phone blew up with hateful messages from old acquaintances. Disgusting. You'll burn for this. The backlash tested her. At a gallery opening I dragged her to, whispers followed us. A former colleague approached, mask of politeness slipping. Didn't peg you for that type, Jordan. She stiffened but squeezed my hand. Later alone she broke down. Is this the price? Constant judgment. I held her, whispering affirmations, but inside, I wondered if she was strong enough. My family, sensing the shift, invited us to California for Thanksgiving. Bring her, Mom said. We want to meet the woman who stole your heart twice. The trip loomed as a milestone. On the flight, Jordan fidgeted. What if they hate me for hurting you? I reassured her, but nerves churned. Arrival brought warmth. Hugs, home-cooked meals, stories of my childhood. Dad pulled Jordan aside. Love isn't easy, kid. But if it's real, fight for it. His acceptance moved her to tears. For the first time she experienced unconditional support. Walks on the beach hand in hand felt like healing. This is what I missed, she murmured, kissing me softly under the stars. Back in New York, invigorated, Jordan confronted her family via video call. I'm gay and I'm with Celeste. Accept it or not, that's your choice. Her mother's sobs filled the screen. Her father hung up. The rejection stung, but Jordan stood taller. It hurts, but I'm free, she said. Freedom came with costs. Jordan lost her job. Her conservative firm cited distractions. Unemployment hit hard, straining our budding relationship. I offered support, but pride made her resist. I don't want to be a burden. Tensions rose during job hunts. Arguments over finances exposed cracks. One night, after a fruitless interview, she snapped. Maybe I should go back. At least there I had stability. The words wounded. Is that what you want? Safety over us. I retorted. She apologized, but doubt seeded. Mia's warnings resurfaced. Was Jordan committed or fleeing again? A breakthrough came via therapy. I suggested couples counseling. She agreed reluctantly. Sessions unearthed buried traumas, her upbringing's indoctrination, my abandonment issues. The therapist challenged us. Love requires sacrifice. What are you willing to give? Jordan quit stalling, applying for progressive firms. I learned patience, curbing my defensiveness. Slowly, progress emerged. Jordan landed a position at a nonprofit advocating for queer rights, fitting ironic. Celebrations followed. A quiet dinner, toasts to new beginnings. Intimacy deepened, not physically overt, but emotionally raw, sharing dreams, fears, vulnerabilities. Yet shadows loomed. Jordan's sister, Emily, reached out secretly. Mom and Dad are struggling. They miss you. A family reunion tempted her. Maybe I can bridge the gap. I supported, but warily. The visit to Georgia was a minefield. Arriving, tension thickened. Her parents greeted stiffly, avoiding eye contact with me. Dinner was awkward. Pointed questions about lifestyle choices, biblical quotes. Jordan defended us fiercely. This is who I am. Love me or lose me. Her father stormed out. Her mother wept. Emily mediated, urging understanding. The night ended in chaos. Her father returned, apologetic yet firm. We can't condone this. Jordan chose us, packing bags amid tears. On the drive to the airport, she sobbed. I thought they'd change. I comforted her, but the loss weighed heavy. Back home, Jordan mourned her family ties. Depression crept in. She withdrew, questioning her decisions. Was it worth it? Losing everything for love. I fought to pull her back, reminding her of our growth. But the strain tested my limits. One evening during a walk in the park, she stopped. Celeste, I love you. But this pain, it's overwhelming. Fear gripped me. Was history repeating? She continued. I need time to process. Not away from you, but with help. Relief flooded. We committed to therapy, support groups. Months passed, scars healing slowly. Jordan reconnected with estranged relatives who accepted her. Strength emerged from adversity. Our bond, forged in fire, felt unbreakable. But life throws curves. A promotion offered me a position in DC, better pay, impact. It meant relocation. Come with me, I urged. Jordan hesitated. Her new job anchored her in New York. The decision loomed. Sacrifice career or relationship? The job offer from the Washington Post affiliate stared back at me from my laptop screen. A golden ticket to investigative journalism on national policy affecting LGBTQ communities. This could change everything, I told Jordan over breakfast, excitement bubbling. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. It's amazing, Celeste. But DC? That's a big move. The conversation spiraled. Her role at the nonprofit was thriving. She'd found purpose mentoring queer youth, drawing from her experiences. Uprooting now felt like another loss. We've just stabilized, she argued. Can't you negotiate remote? I explained the in-person requirements, Capitol Hill access, networking. Compromise seemed elusive. Nights turned restless. I weighed pros. Advancing my career, amplifying voices like ours. Cons. Straining our fragile reunion. Jordan's past choices haunted me. Would she prioritize security again? She sensed my turmoil. I'm not leaving you, she assured. But I need this job. It's my independence. We explored options. Long-distance commuting weekends. But memories of separation fueled doubts. We barely survived 10 years apart, I said. How do we handle months? Tears flowed, hugs followed. The conflict mirrored our core struggles, individual growth versus shared life. Family weighed in. My parents encouraged the move. Opportunities like this are rare. Jordan's sister, now an ally, advised caution. Don't repeat mom and dad's mistakes, forcing conformity. Therapy sessions intensified, unpacking attachments. Sacrifice isn't one-sided, the counselor noted. Find balance. Jordan proposed a trial. I'd accept, she'd visit often, assessing feasibility. Reluctantly, I agreed. Packing boxes felt like preparing for war. Our farewell at the airport was tearful, promises exchanged. This isn't goodbye, she whispered, kissing my forehead. DC hit like a whirlwind. Bustling offices, high-stakes stories. I thrived, exposing discriminatory bills, interviewing senators. But evenings echoed empty without Jordan. Video calls bridged gaps, but pixelated touches couldn't replace her warmth. Loneliness crept, tempting old habits. Flirtations at bars quickly rebuffed. Jordan visited monthly, our reunions passionate in emotion. We explored monuments, debated politics, reaffirmed love. Yet strains showed. Her exhaustion from travel, my guilt over her sacrifices. I'm happy for you, she said during one trip. But I miss us. Back in New York, Jordan faced her own trials. A mentee's suicide attempt shook her. A teen rejected by family, echoing her story. I could have been her, she confided over the phone. The incident fueled her dedication but drained her emotionally. I need you here, she admitted one night. The distance amplified insecurities. Rumors reached me. Jordan spotted with a colleague at a bar, laughing intimately. Jealousy flared. Who's Sarah? I demanded during a call. She explained, a friend, nothing more. But trust, once broken, mended slowly. You left before, I accused. Don't project, she retorted. The fight escalated, ending in slammed connections. Reconciliation came via a surprise visit. I found her at my door, flowers in hand. We can't do this apart. We talked through the night, admitting fears. I won't lose you again, she vowed. But the job demanded presence. Compromise faltered. A turning point arrived via crisis. Jordan's mother suffered a stroke. Despite estrangement, Jordan flew to Georgia. I have to go, she said. I joined, supporting from afar initially, then flying down. Hospital tensions ran high. Her father's grudging thanks, siblings' mixed reactions. Jordan navigated care, confronting old wounds. In quiet moments we bonded deeper. Your being here means everything, she said. The experience clarified priorities. Family, flawed as it was, mattered, but so did our love. Post-recovery, her mother softened slightly. I don't understand, but I want you happy. Returning to DC, clarity struck. I requested a transfer back to New York, possible with remote contributions. Bosses agreed, valuing my work. Surprise announcement to Jordan. I'm coming home. Joy erupted. Embraces sealed it. But sacrifices lingered. The move meant a pay cut, slower career climb. Jordan appreciated it, reciprocating by deepening commitments, joint therapy, shared goals. Our relationship evolved stronger for the tests. Society's pressures persisted. A profile I wrote on queer families drew backlash. Threats, online harassment. Jordan stood by, co-authoring responses. "We're in this together," she affirmed. As winter blanketed the city, we hosted a small gathering, friends, my family, via video. Toasts celebrated resilience. Yet undercurrents of doubt remained. Had we paid enough? Was equilibrium possible? One snowy evening, curled by the fire, Jordan proposed. Not marriage yet, but a commitment ceremony. To us. The idea terrified and thrilled. Planning unearthed more conflicts. Inviting her family? Public declaration amid prejudices? Debates ensued. It's risky, she worried. Backlash could hurt our jobs. I countered. Hiding perpetuates the problem. Compromise. Intimate select guests. The day arrived in a quaint Brooklyn venue. Vows exchanged amid tears. Promises of fidelity, support, growth. Her sister's attendance marked progress. Parents absent, a lingering ache. Post-ceremony, bliss mingled with reality. Media snippets praised our story as inspirational. Hate mail countered. Jordan's firm promoted her. Mine offered flexibility. But peace proved fleeting. A call from Georgia. Her father wanted reconciliation. On his terms, she asked. The invitation tempted, but conditions loomed. Denounce our lifestyle. The dilemma tore at her. Family or freedom? I supported whichever, but urged authenticity. Days of soul-searching followed. Jordan's decision weighed like an anchor. I'll go, but on my terms, she resolved. We flew south together, a united front. Her childhood home felt oppressive. Crosses on walls, Bibles prominent. Her father greeted warily, mother frail but warm. Dinner unfolded tensely. Small talk veered to confrontation. We've prayed for you, her father said. Come back to the fold. Jordan steadied. I am who I am. Accept all of me, including Celeste. Silence stretched. Her mother reached out. We love you. But it's hard. Arguments flared. Scriptures versus science, tradition against.